Hi everyone, I'm Colleen, and this live stream is brought to you by Princess Dental Staffing. Happy to see everyone on this Wednesday, and I hope you're as excited about today's topic as I am. Today we're bringing you questions you might be asked in an interview for a dental receptionist position. We're going to be giving you 40 common questions, okay? That's a lot of questions, I know, but this is great information because if you are currently looking for a dental receptionist position, you kind of this stream will kind of give you an idea of some of the questions that you might encounter, and that way you have a little bit of time beforehand to craft and practice some of your responses to these questions so that you are ready and you're prepared with those answers as quick as a wink, okay, when you're finally in that interview. Okay. So today, again, we're just giving you 40 questions and we're going to go through them all. And it might sound a little redundant, but I promise it is worth it. Okay. But before we get into that, of course, I just want to remind everyone that, again, these live streams are brought to you weekly by Princess Dental Staffing. Okay. And Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board, and they have positions available for dentists, dental assistants, dental hygienists, and yes, dental front office and receptionist roles in a variety of different areas. We're talking full-time, part-time, temporary, and permanent positions in a lot of different areas. So if you have some time today, go ahead and visit princessdentalstaffing.com, see what positions are available in your area. And if you snag that interview, you will be happy as a dental receptionist that you tuned into today's live stream. Okay. Also on their website, you can take a look at their blog posts. So they have a blog on their website that covers a lot of the same topics that we cover in these live streams. It's also super easy to create a profile and get your profile in front of hiring managers as well, and get your information in front of them as well, okay? And again, we're bringing you these live streams each week, and we're covering a different topic regarding your career in the dental industry. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. Okay. And if you like the content we're bringing you, drop us a like. Okay. And of course, if you have any thoughts, questions, insights, or comments that you want to add to the content that we're bringing you, and you want to be part of the conversation, comment below. Okay. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into these questions, okay? So I'm going to read them off to you, and I'll stop periodically and kind of talk about some of these questions and kind of some great ways to kind of help respond to them, okay? So number one, tell me about yourself, okay? And this is a common question, not just for dental receptionist interviews, but for a lot of different interviews. Tell me about yourself. So make sure that you have a short little elevator pitch ready, okay, to go when they ask you that question, because that is a very common interview question, not just for dental receptionists, but for everyone, okay? All kinds of different positions across all kinds of different industries. So just a short little elevator pitch, maybe 3 to 4 sentences that just kind of talk about your background, your education and skills, and what you're bringing to the table, okay? Number two, what about this opening grabbed your interest? Okay. Do you have a salary in mind that you want to be paid for this role? Do you find it enjoyable to interact with patients? Okay. Let me pause here real quick. So this is a yes or no question, okay? And interview questions, you'll find there are quite a few yes or no questions. I don't recommend that you just answer them with a yes or no. So when they ask you something like, do you find it enjoyable to interact with patients? And you kind of go, yes, absolutely. Give them a little bit more, okay? You can add, even if it's just a yes or no question, add a little bit more. So you could say something like, okay, do you find it enjoyable to interact with patients? Yes, absolutely. I love interacting on a daily basis with a wide variety, diverse audience, diverse groups of patients. I find it incredibly interesting and valuable. Okay, so just adding a little bit. I mean, you don't have to go into a whole soliloquy, but just a sentence or two added at the end of that yes or no, depending on what the question is, can really just add a little bit, just a little bit more content for those interviewers to consider. Okay. All right, moving on. What is the best way to define your work ethic? What qualities do you seek in your next employer? Do you have any interests outside of the dental field that you would like to share? Okay. And it's always okay to share some interests outside of the dental field. Just make sure, it's professional and safe for work. Your answer is professional and safe for work. And especially if you have any interests outside of the dental field, but that are related to the dental field. For example, if you play an instrument like such as a, you know, uh, like guitar or something like that, kind of it helps kind of talk, or it speaks to your skills, your like concentration skills, or your ability to learn new things. Okay, so things like that. Okay, so moving on, do you prefer to work as a healthcare receptionist for any reason? What are your long-term career goals? Do you have any experience as a receptionist at a dental office? Okay. Now, if the answer to that question is no, again, here is a really great opportunity to add a little bit of content. So if the answer to that question is no, don't just leave it at no. Okay. Do you have any experience as a receptionist at the dental office, at a dental office? Not directly at a dental office, but I do have X number of years as a receptionist, and I am very astute. I'm a very quick and astute learner, and I also possess very strong customer service skills. So I think that I firmly believe that I would contribute a lot to this role. Okay, something to that effect. Okay, moving on. Have you had any previous customer service or client relations experience? Really important if you're going to be dealing with patients all day, right? At previous offices, were you the only receptionist on duty throughout shifts? On average, how many appointments did your prior employer accomplish each day? Can you describe your tasks at your previous employment in detail? How do you keep your office in order? What is your typing speed in words per minute? Are you able to operate in a fast paced environment? Again, another great opportunity to answer yes and. Okay. What did your previous employer think of your working habits? What operating system did you utilize at your last job? What scheduling and record keeping software did you use? Okay. When it comes to confirming appointments, what procedures have you used? There's a lot of different ways to confirm appointments, right? Text, email, call. So that's a really great question. Do you have a working knowledge of dental terminology? Again, if the answer is no, offer a little bit more. Okay. In past jobs, how much cash handling experience did you get? How can you practice clear communication skills with coworkers and patients? We've done so many previous streams before on the importance of communication skills, active listening skills, and those sorts of things. Do you have any knowledge of how insurance billing works? What steps do you take to protect the privacy of your patients? Also, a very good question, very important too. How do you feel about occasionally being asked to work overtime? How do you manage to multitask? Are you able to troubleshoot spreadsheet issues? What makes you want to work as a dental receptionist? How can you improve the quality of your patients' visits and make them feel more welcome? What do you do to stay positive when you're having a bad day? How would you handle the situation when a patient calls with a dental emergency and the dentist is unavailable? Okay. And then some of these questions as well, with these situational questions, especially that one. If you've ever been in the situation before, describing a previous time when you were in that situation and the steps that you took is definitely a great source of information to kind of convey to your potential employers, your potential new employers, right? Your interviewers. How would you tell a patient that a dentist visit needs to be canceled? Why are you interested in working at this dental office, right? Hopefully, you've done a little bit of research before, and we've talked in previous streams before about doing a little bit of research on the dental practice or the dental office. Making sure you review the job posting, the job description one more time before you go in. And having some of that background knowledge, okay, so that you can kind of offer some of those insights. Can you tell me about a day when you felt and experienced success in a previous job? Okay. How would you deal with a difficult patient? What is the most crucial characteristic of a successful dental receptionist? With which dental software programs are you proficient? So they're probably looking for like EagleSoft, Dentrix, or something to that effect. Um, and lastly, if you could be any animal, what would you be and why? I know we saved that question for last because I knew a lot of you watching this were going to be like, what? Colleen, you just gave me 39 questions that talked about experience and education and knowledge. And then you throw this animal question at me. That's kind of weird and strange, isn't it? Yes, absolutely. And that is by design. So this is, so really this question is representative of all those kind of, kind of off the wall questions. For example, again, if you could be any animal, what would you be and why? Maybe, one interview question I heard of before was, what song do you feel best describes your work ethic? Okay, do not sleep on these questions. They are very silly. They're completely out of left field, and they're very very strange. But they're by design. So they're strange and kind of off the wall by design because the interviewer is likely testing how you respond in situations that you did not plan for. Okay. So they're trying to see like kind of how you think on your feet and how you react to an incredibly off the wall, really unrelated question to the dental industry. But really it is related because again, they're trying to see how you work on your feet because you may, in this role as a dental receptionist, you may run into situations that you haven't run into before and you're going to have to be able to respond. Okay. And that practice and that office is going to, be want to be able to rely on you to respond appropriately. So that's one thing that they're testing. The other thing they may be looking for is just a little bit of insight into your personality, right? So, just making sure that your personality fits with the already existing workplace culture and the team dynamics, right? So, it's very important, of course, to be experienced as a dental receptionist and have the key skill set, but it's also very important to be able to fit into that workplace culture and not cause a lot of hangups by trying to implement into that workplace culture. So again, hopefully you've done a little bit of your research and you kind of have a good sense of the workplace culture of that office. Okay. Also, the other reason they might be trying to obtain a little bit of information on your personality, so they have kind of an idea of how you might interact with patients as well, because patients are going to ask a lot of off the wall questions as well, right? So you have to be able to respond to them appropriately and professionally. Okay. So it just gives it, so that kind of question, I know it seems completely off the wall and just, why would they even ask that question? That's such a silly question. Why did you even list it? But it's really important to be prepared for the unexpected, because that's likely what your interviewer is trying to test for, how you work on your feet and how a little bit of insight into your personality. Okay. Alrighty. So there you have it. 40 questions that you might be asked in a dental receptionist interview. So what are you going to do with this information now, right? Great, Colleen, you gave me 40 questions. Now what I'm going to do? Practice, practice, practice. So I always recommend, recording yourself via your phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever. So these questions, if you have someone that can work with you, that's even better. Or you can ask these questions to yourself. So you can just look into the camera and say, tell me about yourself. And then you can respond. Okay. So look at the camera as if you're looking at an interviewer and say, well, my name is Colleen. I am a resume writer. For this exercise, I'm actually a dental receptionist and I have, 3 years of experience. I'm well versed in dental terminology. I'm tech savvy and I have a strong background in using, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. And that way, you have it recorded and then you can go back, look at it again. You can even have a friend or a family member or, a close colleague take a look at the recording and they can give you feedback as well. Okay. But that will give you some insight as to, what the interviewer is going to see when you answer these common questions. Okay. All right. So I hope that this video has given you some great insight and some great tools and ways to prepare for your dental receptionist interview. Okay. We will be back next week with a new topic covering your career in the dental industry. Until that time, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Continue to stay safe out there. I'll see you soon.